Welcome to Beauty in Stories. This is a space where short, meaningful tales invite us to explore life's deep lessons and the beauty of emotions. Each story becomes a journey to listen, reflect, and rediscover values that are often overlooked in the busyness of life. Join us as we uncover inspiration, joy, and connection in these stories every day. And now, let's dive into today's story, Words Carried by the Wind. Amid rolling hills where the morning sun gently filtered through trees to touch the humble wooden cottages, lay a small, quiet village embraced by nature's vastness. The village, serene and picturesque with golden wheat fields stretching endlessly, held within it stories so poignant that even time could not erase their echoes. Eliza was a young woman of extraordinary grace. Her beauty understated yet radiant. Her eyes, as clear as an autumn lake, reflected kindness and devotion. She lived with her mother-in-law in a small house by a stream, where the larks would sing each morning. Her husband, Arthur, had left to fulfill his duty far from home, leaving Eliza to bear the responsibilities of the household alone. Yet she never complained. Each day, she rose before dawn, her delicate hands tirelessly weaving, baking, and tending to her aging mother-in-law. The village admired her, not only for her diligence but also for the noble spirit evident in her every action. But as with any tranquil existence, unseen forces often brew storms. Among the villagers was a man named Hugh, who had long cast an ardent, almost desperate gaze upon Eliza. To him, she was perfection incarnate, a gem so radiant that it only deepened his anguish to know he could never possess her. Hugh sought every opportunity to approach her. Yet Eliza, unwavering in her loyalty like the steady moon, regarded him only with distant politeness. Each of his overtures was gently but firmly declined. His unfulfilled longing turned venomous. And in the shadows of his heart, admiration twisted into resentment. One fateful day, consumed by envy, he resolved to tarnish her image. Hugh began spreading malicious whispers, subtle as mist, yet chilling as winter frost.
"Do you truly believe she's flawless?"
he murmured to the villagers.
"What woman, so young and left alone, could remain so virtuous?"
His insidious words, like seeds of a toxic weed, quickly took root in the villagers' minds. The eyes that once admired Eliza now grew wary, and friendly greetings turned into hushed gossip. Eliza couldn't ignore the change. The burdens of her daily life grew heavier under the chill of isolation. Each time she passed through the village square, conversations fell silent, replaced by faint, derisive murmurs. But the most cutting wound came from her mother-in-law, who had once trusted her without question. Now, even her gaze carried the shadow of doubt. The long nights were especially cruel to Eliza, who often sat by the window, staring into the vast darkness as the moon drifted through the clouds. She wondered what she had done to deserve such estrangement and scorn. Her heart, once resilient, began to fracture under the weight of baseless rumors. She tried to smile, hoping her patience might clear the air of misunderstanding. But the truth never seemed to rise above the tide of whispers, which persisted like embers smoldering beneath the earth. One winter afternoon, as cold winds swept across the fields, Eliza stepped outside and walked toward the stream. Within her, there was only quiet, a stillness as profound as the frozen waters of winter. She felt no anger, only a sorrow so deep that it numbed her entirely. When news of Eliza's departure reached the villagers, it struck them like a thunderclap in the dead of night. The once bustling village was silenced by its collective guilt. Hugh, the man who had sown the seeds of her undoing, found himself haunted by her luminous, sorrowful eyes. They followed him in his dreams, silent but unrelenting. In desperation, Hugh sought out old Martin, the village's wise elder, known for his profound understanding of human folly. The old man lived atop a hill, where the wind never ceased, and the rustling trees seemed to whisper the secrets of time eternal. Falling to his knees, Hugh wept.
"Wise one, I have wronged her. Tell me, how can I atone for the harm I've caused?"
Martin said nothing. Rising slowly, he retrieved an old feather pillow and led Hugh to the hilltop. With deliberate movements, Martin tore the pillow open, releasing a flurry of feathers into the air. The wind seized them, scattering them far and wide, over fields and beyond the horizon.
"Now,"
Martin said, his voice steady and grave,
"gather every single feather and place them back into the pillow."
Hugh's eyes widened in disbelief.
"But sir, that's impossible. The wind has carried them too far."
Martin nodded, his gaze piercing.
"Exactly. The words you spoke are like these feathers. Once they leave your lips, they no longer belong to you. They scatter, reaching places you cannot control, inflicting wounds you cannot heal. You cannot undo what has been said, but you can learn to never make the same mistake again."
From that day, Hugh was a changed man. His life became one of quiet penitence, marked by small acts of kindness, though he knew no gesture could undo the harm he had wrought. The villagers, too, began to reflect on their complicity, realizing their whispers had fueled the storm that swept Eliza away. On the hill where the feathers had danced in the wind, the breeze still carried a lesson for all who paused to listen. Words, like the wind, are unseen but possess the power to destroy. Once spoken, they are like birds that will never return to their nest. Be cautious with every word, for they can save or ruin a life. Eliza's story was not merely a tragedy but an eternal reminder. In the quiet corners of the village, people began to choose their words with care, fostering respect and understanding in place of doubt and judgment. Though Eliza was gone, she left behind a lesson as enduring as the hills themselves. Kindness and mindfulness are the foundation of all human connections. Thank you for joining Beauty in Stories for today's tale. I hope these moments have brought you meaningful insights and inspiration. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you won't miss any upcoming stories. See you in the next one.
Goodbye!